Hey, my beautiful queens, how you doing? My name is Annie Till, and thank you for joining me on Sessions for the Soul with Annie. Have you ever asked yourself, who am I? Because I know for me, I've struggled with that question for years. My 11th grade teacher asked me that question, and I didn't really know how to answer it. I thought who I was I was my mama's child. So when my teacher asked me, who am I told him I'm Annie Till. Because at that point, that's all I knew who I was. But once I told him that, he told me, no, that is not who you are. So he told me to go spend some time to myself, and he was going to come back to that question in the upcoming weeks. For me to find out who I was, I had to really dig deep inside myself to even figure this thing out. Because my beautiful queens, it ain't easy finding out who you are. Not by a long shot. And it has not always been easy for me to find out who I am. But what I've always had was a notebook and a pen. As long as I had pen and paper, that was my scapegoat of the world. And me finding out who I was required me to sit alone and think in my thoughts. My good thoughts, my bad thoughts, my ugly thoughts, the thoughts that scared me, just so I could know who I am. I started writing things down about myself. Me being beautiful, smart, outgoing, kind, loving, friendly, unique. Give her last off her back for somebody else. Open her doors even when she don't have a door to open. Give words of encouragement when there's no one encouraging her. I wanted to be a light that shined in a dark place. Because I felt like this is my purpose. This is my dream. This is who I am. But it took me years on finding this out. And I'm just glad that out of all my years of soul searching, I finally am comfortable enough to share who I am with the world. The second thing that I did to find out who I was, I wrote down my goals and my dreams. My goal was to always be a motivational speaker. And my goal is to be a youth counselor. But I've also had the vision of just encouraging people along the way. Because I feel like we all have a purpose in life, and finding out who you are is part of the purpose. So when I wrote down my goals, I knew I wanted to act on it. So I went to college. I got my AA degree in psychology. I got my AA degree in social and human behavioral science. I'm transferring to get my bachelor's degree in social work. This is the process that I knew I had to take to get me where I need to go. And it's still a process, even now. But again, it's a lifelong process that I'm willing to take. And finding out who you are will determine the process in which you take to get you where you need to go. Because it's easy to set a dream, but it's hard to follow one. It's easy to set a dream, but it's hard to follow it. Sometimes you just need a little motivation, whether it's motivating yourself. Sometimes you got to motivate yourself because you ain't going to have nobody there to motivate you. And finding out who you are will help you on figuring out what you can do for yourself to lift yourself up when you're down. Or give yourself words of encouragement when you know others around you can't give you words. But writing down your goals and dreams, my beautiful queens, is important. But sometimes we do lose sight of our goals and our dreams because of the things we face in life. But never allow that to stop you for being who you are. So to me, the third thing you should do is write down things about yourself, which I talked about before. So when you write down stuff about yourself, it could be positive things. It could be like simple words. It could be, something short. It don't have to be anything long. It's just like little words. Who are you? I'm kind, loving, unique. You can put I'm hot-tempered. I'm understanding. Whatever makes you who you are, that's what you write down. Because I know for me, I am love. I give love and I love to accept love. I am friendly. I am kind. I am a motivator. I am an encourager. I am a mother. I am a sister. I am a lover. I am a friend to those who want to be a friend to me. I'm a shoulder to cry on. I'm a listening ear. I am. I am. I am me. And you are you. And don't forget that. Because sometimes even when we find out who we are, we lose sight of who we are. And sometimes you got to lose sight of who you are just to find out who you are. Sometimes you got to find out who you are just to lose sight of who you are. It worked both ways. But my beautiful queens, despite whatever you may think about yourself, still look in the mirror and say, I love me. I am beautiful. No matter how you feel about yourself, no matter if you're feeling depressed, lonely, like you don't love you, still repeat those words. I am beautiful. I love myself. Because the more you say it, you'll start to believe it. And when you start to believe it, you start to feel it in your heart. Because sometimes we look for others to fill that void on us finding out who we are. When all alone, only thing you have to do was search a little bit harder. Do a little bit more research on yourself. And again, it's a process. But you can do it because I did it. The last thing on finding out who you are, don't be afraid to come out your shell. Because I know for me, I was afraid of being me. I was afraid I was going to be judged by other people, how other people was going to see me, whether they was going to talk, say something good, positive. But at a certain point, I stopped caring. I stopped caring what other people thought about me. Why? Because how you see me is not how I see myself. So you can say all these things about me, but I know who I am. And to me, that's all that matters. Knowing who you are. Knowing what's important. And knowing that you can step outside your shell to be you. Because, man, I was judged, me being me. And I'm still being judged to this day. But it comes to the point to where I don't care about being judged anymore. As long as I can touch one soul, I've done my job for the day. As long as I can reach out and touch one person, because I know who I am. So I know my motivational speeches is going to touch one soul. My beautiful queens. It might be you. That's why you can't lose sight of who you are. Or you can't lose sight of your focus either. You can't. So my beautiful queens, please like this video. Please subscribe this video. And please leave a comment in the comment section down below. Whether or not you have a comment or whether or not you have a question. I am willing to answer any questions or comments that you may have. Until we meet again, my beautiful queens, thank you, thank you, thank you for joining me on Sessions for the Soul with Annie. And I hope you find out who you are the way that I, my beautiful queens, find out who I am.